such issues in the past, and in the end, she won. Do you see Samanya winning this case in the end?
I don't see her winning. It has happened not only to her, it happened to one of Nigeria's players who were playing for the Super Falcons before, and at the end of the day, he is now in you.
Over-secretion of it.
You cannot,
You can't match.
there's no way.
No woman can match you.
Go to their camp. You will discover that whenever she wants to, dress up and do certain things, she will not allow herself for free with her fellow female athletes.
I understand.
So why so? You get the point. And each time she will have advantage over the rest. So I think CAS are now doing the right thing.
Well, Gidado has said that the Court of Arbitration for Sports is now doing the right thing. Let's just hope that in the end, justice shall prevail.
That's the much you can take on the program, Talking Sports with the team. Brand new edition will come your way same time next week, talking next week Friday at 17:30 GMT. You're tuned to the English service of Voice of Nigeria, broadcasting from Abuja. And if you really love talking sports, then we have a sports segment for you in the course of 60 minutes, coming up in a matter of seconds. It's now 7 p.m. local time. Hello, I'm Kitsy Golid, welcoming you to 60 Minutes, a program of news, views, comments, and analysis of issues reaching you from Voice of Nigeria here in Abuja. You can also listen to this broadcast on www.von.gov.ng. And in our menu, the United Nations has set aside the 3rd of May annually to celebrate journalists across the globe. What are the expectations of journalists as they mark the 2019 World Press Freedom Day? Stay tuned for details of this and other stories in the course of today's edition of 60 Minutes. The headlines. Nigerian President assures journalists of a press-free nation. Protesters in Algeria demand departure of ruling elite. Afghanistan President releases Taliban prisoners. Stories on these, including economic, sports news, today in history, and our African proverb will come up in this edition of 60 Minutes. Once again, I'm Kitsy Golid, welcoming you to the program 60 Minutes. Now the details of the news, and I'm joined by Glory Ohagu. Glory, you're welcome. Thank you very much, Kitsy, and a happy World Press Freedom Day to you. And all the details of the world news. As Nigerian journalists join their colleagues around the world to mark the 2019 World Press Freedom Day, President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed government's commitment to guarantee press freedom at all times. The president, while urging journalists in Nigeria to use the day to praise and recommit themselves to the ethics of their noble profession, noted that the theme of this year's celebration, Media for Democracy, Journalism and Elections in Times of Disinformation, is relevant for Nigeria. He urged the media to reflect on the effects of fake news, misinformation, and disinformation. World Press Freedom Day is observed every May 3rd to celebrate the fundamental principles of press freedom, evaluate press freedom around the world, defend media from attacks on your independence, and pay tribute to journalists who lost their lives in the exercise of their profession. The Nigerian Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, says there can be no good governance in any country where press freedom is not guaranteed. Dr. Saraki stated this at a one-day conference to mark the 2019 World Press Freedom Day, organized by the Premium Times Center for Investigative Journalism and the European Union's Rule of Law and Anti-Corruption Program. The theme of the conference is Press Freedom in Nigeria, the Role of Law, Media, and Violent Extremism. Dr. Bukola Saraki added that the 8th Senate values the media as crucial partners in the quest to build a stronger and more vibrant democracy. He said that the National Assembly would always be available to work with the media to ensure a democratic society. And away from that, some members elect into the Nigerian House of Representatives have expressed their support for Femi Gbajabiamila to lead the 9th Assembly as Speaker. Addressing National Assembly correspondents in Abuja, spokesperson for the group, Mr. Noshok Luke, said the group based their support on the belief that Mr. Gbajabiamila will serve as chief of the 9th House of Representatives. Mr. Luke said Mr. Gbajabiamila has a legislative experience that would ensure cordiality amongst the three arms of